What is up, Nation? Welcome back to Energy Shift with Erin. I of course am Erin, and I am here with an amazing guest co-host today. We're going to talk all things healthy pregnancy. This is Rebecca with Beloved Motherhood. Welcome on, Rebecca. Thanks for being here.
Hi, thank you, Erin. So, as she said, I'm Rebecca. I am the owner of Beloved Motherhood. It's a doula business, birth, postpartum, breastfeeding, do all of that kind of stuff. I'm a mom of 4, 6, 4, 2, and 6 months. So I'm really in the thick of motherhood, just like everyone else here.
Yes. Oh, wow, you're busy for sure. So, for those who may not be fully aware, let's talk about what a doula is and what a doula does. I think most of us kind of have the gist, but may not know details of all of the things that you do for mothers.
Right. So my heart is really to help mothers feel seen, supported, and strengthened, not overwhelmed, especially during the transition from pregnancy to birth, postpartum, and breastfeeding. My aim with Beloved Motherhood is really just to nurture the mothers as the heart of the home so that they can nurture the babies that they are bringing into the home.
Yeah. I love that. And so if somebody were to want to hire a doula, when does that happen? When they find out they're pregnant? Does that happen like when they're trying to get pregnant? When does that occur? And when is the most beneficial time to get started working with you?
Honestly, really anytime. So if you're like trying to conceive, you can start talking with a doula. Once you are pregnant, then you'll probably sign the contract. I always say the earlier the better, especially for my packages, because I offer between 4 to 8 prenatal visits. That way, you can really feel like I really get to know you and I'm supporting you as a person through your birth and everything like that. If you are already pregnant, then you can start looking also into the postpartum doula packages and stuff that other postpartum doulas have. And then you can sign that contract while you're pregnant or after you're done giving birth. Because postpartum doulas can work and start anywhere between the 1 to 3 months postpartum during that 4th trimester.
Oh, yeah, I love that. So would you say that your role is more in support of the mother, where like as in like a doctor may be like more focused in on baby, you are going, obviously you're focused on baby too, but you're really taking care of mom, making sure she feels seen, heard, and supported going through the process.
Yeah, for sure. So how I explain, because I get that question a lot actually, what's the difference between you and like a midwife or an OB? How I explained it to people is the OB and the midwife, the medical provider, it's their job to keep you safe during pregnancy and birth. It's my job as the doula to keep you comfortable and supported. So really, I am hired by the family, not by the medical provider, to be in the family's corner, in the mother's corner. So we look at very different areas. Like, so doulas can't give medical advice. We don't check dilation. We don't check blood pressure. We can't catch the baby. We don't cut umbilical cords. We can't prescribe medicine. We can't do all of that stuff. That you need a medical provider for. What we do is we do comfort measures, birth positions, breathing techniques. We do hands-on birth support. We do a lot of advocacy and education. And so that's where we kind of fit into it. So it's really to have a holistic team. It's really good to have us both available. That way the medical provider doesn't have to focus on the stuff I do. You know what I mean? And I'm not allowed to focus on the stuff that they do.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I love that. I feel like that would make women feel a lot more comfortable, especially if it's their first baby and or like they had a difficult labor in previous pregnancies, just to feel safer, secure, like you have a team behind you.
Exactly. And that's really the whole aim of it, is to work as a cohesive team. And I include the father in that as well. That way it's all very, it all works together and, every piece of the puzzle kind of fits in place. You know what I mean? I never want anyone to feel like I'm replacing them, whether it be the medical provider or the dad. I don't want anyone to feel like I'm replacing them. I am there to support them. Like, that's just the bottom line, is just, you need that support. Give me 1 minute. My baby's crying. Hold on.
You're good. No, it totally makes sense. And I love
Go back
that
upstairs.
she's doing mom life. She was really worried about mom or the kiddos, and I told her that everybody here is or has dealt with toddlers, and so she is more than welcome to take care of her kiddos in the middle of this conversation.
Okay, I am on a video conference right now. Sorry about that.
Well, that's okay. This is like real mom life happening in the moment. We love it. She's a mom, an entrepreneur, and she's multifaceted. And there's this cute little human. Hi.
This is Esther. This one in the corner is Eli, and then Mikey and Christian have come downstairs. So, even though I told them all to stay upstairs.
Yes.
So
okay, let's dive into some healthy pregnancy and postpartum tips. If you have a mom that you are navigating with through pregnancy and then postpartum, where do we start to focus in on our health?
Yes. So boys, stop talking, please. I am on a call. Yes. So I love to keep it simple because moms are already inundated with so much information. I usually focus on 4 pillars, and that's nourishment, movement, mindset, and support. Now, this is normally my health tips for pregnancy. Go in the entryway, please, boys. Go, Mikey. If you go, your brothers will follow. Go. These are... Give me a hug. All right, go in the entryway. Go in the entryway, please. No, don't hug Esther right now. Go in the entryway, please. All right, so those are my 4 pillars. Those are my 4 pillars for pregnancy and birth. Delving a little bit more into it. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, delving a little bit more into it, nourishment. Instead of stressing about the perfect diet, I like to tell them to think whole and simple, right? Whole foods, protein at every meal, healthy fats, lots of hydration, definitely lots of hydration. I love the idea of a snack basket in the fridge just so that it's nice and quick. Things like boiled eggs, hummus, fruit, cheese sticks, so that you can just grab it when you're tired or busy like I am. Stuff like that is really going to help you feel better. Foods like that is really going to help you feel better while you're growing a little baby inside of you, because that takes a lot of work out of a mom.
Yeah.
The next one, movement, delving more into movement. Movement doesn't have to mean going to the gym, right? I mean, you've talked about that sometimes on it. I listen to your show. A daily walk, gentle stretching, or a few minutes of deep breathing, especially the deep breathing, because that helps with breathing in birth.
Yeah.
That does wonders. It supports circulation, reduces swelling, and even prepares your body for birth. I also normally recommend they go see a chiropractor during their pregnancy because that helps lower the length of the labor a lot of times because it keeps your body aligned. So that's what I normally include in movement. Mindset, very important. I tell my clients that birth is 20% physical and about 80% mental and emotional. That's why it's so important to have a doula in your corner to kind of keep you grounded and remind you of that stuff. I encourage moms to replace pressure with grace, really. Rest is productive. It's okay if your house looks lived in. My house looks lived in all the time with all my littles. Your body is literally creating life. So it's okay if you're not fully functioning at the rate that you normally would on a daily basis before you were pregnant. That is okay. And so I always tell them not to pressure themselves. Give yourself grace because you're going to need that mindset when you go into labor. Finally, the 4th pillar that I mentioned is support. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, right? Whether it's your husband, a doula, your mom, your sister, your best friend, or your group of friends. Don't do pregnancy in isolation and alone. because God created us for community. I mean, if you really look at the person of God, he is community. He's 3 in 1, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. He created us in his image. So we are created for community. When he created Adam, he said it is not okay for man to be alone. So we are created for community. Stay in that community, especially during pregnancy, because you're going to need it when you're hormonal, when you're sad, when you're experiencing things that your body has never done before. Even if it's your 4th pregnancy, your body is still doing things that you've never experienced before. So really, you're going to need that community to help back you up and support you.
I love that. I actually want to dive into the community aspect a little bit more, because I think we can wrap our brains around letting the house be lived in and eating more protein, right? But I think for a lot of women, the community aspect feels really confusing, because we tend to be so like more driven to do things on our own. We're strong people. We feel like we can handle it. We know our body. So how do we dive into and really take advantage of the community support that we have? Like, obviously hiring you or somebody like you is helpful, but what if your husband, friends, and other kids? How do we dive into that community support during and after pregnancy?
Well, I normally tell them you don't have to grow a baby and hold the world together all at the same time. That's what we try to do, because like you said, culture has inundated us with this whole be a strong woman, be independent, handle it all on your own, don't ask for help, help is weakness. And that's not how it should be, right? So I always tell people, when you first find out you're pregnant, figure out who your 3 main support people will be. And that keeps it nice and simple. That way you're not texting 50 different people the same thing over and over again. Let them know that they are your support group during your pregnancy, and ask them, would you like to be included? Because I would like you to be included in this circle. Because sometimes we may not have the capacity to support someone, and you know what I mean? So definitely ask, but choose 3 people, create a group chat with those 3 people, let them know who the other people are. That way, if you need help, just send one message to that group chat and be like, hey, I can't keep this house clean. It's really stressing me out. My house is cluttered. My mind is cluttered. I can't handle this. Can someone come help me? And then one of those 3 people should be able to come help, especially if they already agreed to be part of your support system. You know what I mean? And those 3 people can be anyone from friends, family, a doula, church group. I recently reached out to my church group and was like, I didn't get any sleep last night. My son just got sent home from school for bad behavior right in the middle of nap time when I was about to take some rest. I was like, can someone please watch the kids for me so I can rest for just a couple of hours? And someone popped up and really stepped in. So the main thing is just not to be afraid to ask for help and to know which people you can ask for help from. That's why I always say to create that circle early. That way you already know these are the people that I can ask for help. So you're not texting 50 different people and they're either too busy, too tired, or out of town or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I love that. And I love that you're using it. Obviously, you have a very young baby still, but like you're still using these tips to help you navigate now having 4 kids. And I just think women should ask for help more, but we don't. And I love that you're bringing this up, because what I do, of course, is ask, people asking me for help, what you do. Like, and I've heard so many times that women are so hesitant, and like, we deserve a corner. We deserve people around us too. And a lot of people want to help, even if it's not a paid professional like you or myself. Like you said, the lady at your church, like there's always somebody that wants to hold a baby or play, like that happens. And we don't think about that when we're like in the midst of crazy. It's like, nobody's here to support me, but that's not true. There are so many people, but I love the rule of 3. I feel like anyone use that. Like, even if you're just having a bad day and you're like, can I just vent here, or what, whatever the case may be. I love that. That's such a good choice.
Yeah. I like to tell people that really birth it sets a foundation for your motherhood. The stuff that you make a habit while you're pregnant and in labor and postpartum is really going to filter out into the rest of your motherhood for the rest of your life. And so, it's definitely stuff that I also dip into. I dip into my own doula knowledge and back a
Yeah,
lot
you should. I love
my
it.
6-year-old.
I absolutely love it. So the next thing I wanted to cover was postpartum. So I know you help with breastfeeding. And for me, when a woman comes to me postpartum, they have a 3-6 month old baby and they want to start feeling like themselves again. What are good ways? Because I feel like there's this other pressure for us to like bounce back, which I hate. Like I don't think that's necessary, but I also honor the fact that we want to feel at home in our bodies. So how do we keep stress lower? If we're breastfeeding, still able to produce enough milk for the baby, but then start to slowly navigate our way back to feeling like ourselves again.
Yeah, so postpartum, so hard, right? So hard. You've got all those hormones again. They're different hormones than pregnancy and birth this time. Mikey, get off the couch, please, because you're going to knock over my laptop. But postpartum is sacred ground, right? It's a season of recovery, of bonding, of huge change, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, right? Mikey, get out of my camera, please. So first off, rest is not lazy. It's healing. Like you said, culture glorifies bouncing back, right? But your body has done intense work, right? In many cultures, they honor a 40 days of rest tradition, and there's wisdom in that, right? Your uterus is healing, hormones are shifting, your organs are returning to place, and that is something that is really miraculous because your body does it all. Don't force your body to try to go back to what it was pre-pregnancy, because all of this stuff inside the uterus, the organs, the bone structure, it has all shifted, right? You're never going to get back to pre-pregnancy, right? So this whole idea of bouncing back, like you said, it's counterproductive, really. It really is. So what I like to do there is obviously the nourishment is very important still, still keeping healthy fats, proteins, and stuff like that. Warm grounding meals like soups, broths, stews, oatmeal. Hydration is huge, especially if you're breastfeeding. Hydration is really going to support your milk supply. So that is very important. And you can get those, those veggies, those proteins, those fats and all that stuff in stews, broths, and they're easy to make. They're easy to freeze and they're easy to reheat. Breastfeeding, I always tell my moms, fed and supported is best. Peace is best. Breastfeeding can be a learning curve, even though it's natural. It doesn't always come naturally. Seek support early, even before the baby arrives if possible. I have a prenatal breastfeeding prep service that I can come do with you very individually. So, nourishment really helps with that. I see a lot of moms asking, my milk supply dipped. How do I get it back up? What lactation cookies do you recommend? And really a lot of those, they're called galacticos, and they're the teas, the cookies, the herbs and all that stuff. A lot of it helps in a way that it calms moms down in order for their milk to start going. If you're producing cortisol in your system, your milk cannot produce because you need oxytocin and you need prolactin. So really keeping that stress down, and that stuff kind of helps moms. But what is really important is keeping the fats in your diet, the proteins in your diet, and the hydration. That is really what's going to help, as well as making sure you have good latch, especially early on. If the baby is not effectively taking the milk out, you're not going to be producing much, because milk is very much a supply and demand function of our body. The more your baby takes, the more you will produce. So if you're recognizing a dip in milk supply, I would recommend first getting your latch evaluated, and then maybe talking about what you're putting into your body. Because moms, especially moms that have older siblings involved, we tend to forget to eat, right? I forget to eat a lot. Yeah, so making sure that you're eating and not overdoing yourself with coffee.
Yeah, that's huge too, right? Because of the cortisol spike. So when you what do you do personally? Because
I can't hear her.
We can tell you're super busy. So for your meals, do you set an alarm? How do you remind yourself that you need nourishment too when taking care of 4 little people all day long?
I've instituted family meals. When they sit down to eat, that's when I sit down to eat. I don't do anything else. Dishes can wait. Cleaning can wait, all that kind of stuff. If she needs to eat at the same time they eat, I nurse her at the table while I'm eating. So I typically make meals that I can eat with one hand, with so sandwiches or something that I can use a fork for. Preferably not spoons, because if I'm nursing her while I'm eating with a spoon, I have a risk of spilling. But I definitely do that. I hope you can still hear me over them.
Yeah, I can hear. Okay, no, I think that totally makes sense. Stop. No. The rough housing. Sorry. No, it's okay. You're good. You're momming. All good. Sandwiches, I feel like, are so slept on for women. Like, it's so fast to make them. They're balanced, veggie to get carbs, and it's something that you can make in 2 minutes. So I love that tip as well.
Yeah, I know you're busy. Crock pot meals, because you can start that early in the day. And then it just cooks on its own, you know?
I love my crock pot. I swear by my crock pot and my air fryer.
Yeah.
Any other tips and tricks you wanted to talk about for healthy pregnancy before I let you get back to the fam?
I just want to remind you, all you moms, that you deserve to be taken care of as much as your children deserve to be taken care of. Don't measure your worth by your to-do list or your appearance, especially freshly out of giving birth. Please stop, boys. Don't measure your worth by your children's behavior. But one small rhythm, one small grace-filled step a day, and that really does wonders for you. You were called to be a mom, and God wouldn't have given it to you if he didn't think you could handle it. So give yourself grace. Know that you were meant for this, and don't allow culture to tell you what you want. Those are what's really important to me. Stop, please. Don't push buttons. You might exit me out early.
I love it. Okay. Boys, what do you have to say?
Do you guys have anything to say to the moms?
Don't know.
Can you say hi, Mom?
Anything to say to the moms? No? Hello?
Mommy.
Your blanket.
All right, thank you so much. We have appreciated this conversation. I know it will be super helpful to a lot of moms.
I just hope they're able to hear the episode with all of them.
The moms are used to it. Thank you again. Bye, boys.
All right, say bye. Bye.
Struggling to feel your best? When energy is low and nothing seems to work, it's time for a new approach. Here's someone who guides real people to real, lasting wellness. Meet Erin McDonald, certified master health coach, nutrition coach, and NASM personal trainer. Helping you create simple, lasting routines that support a healthier, more energized you. Feel better, move better, live better. Because health isn't just a goal, it's a lifestyle you deserve. Take the first step toward feeling your best. Your future self will thank you. Connect with Erin today.